Hi, good morning. Hey, Rise. How are you? Hello, hello. Hopefully, you can hear me fine. We've been having some slight problems. Hey, y'all be lurking? No worries. No worries, Deadwalk. Enjoy your lurk. It's Sunday. It's Sunday. How you doing, Rise? All right. Let's see. Don, hello. Arthur, hello.
Welcome to my world, bitch.
How are we doing today? Don, look at you at 110 stream streak. Thank you so very much for that. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Kaneki, hello. SSJ, hello. Hello, everybody. Hi, Reaper. How are you doing today? Got my coffee here and I'm ready to rock and roll. Rise, Metalhead. I hope you're having a great Sunday. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. We're going to let everybody shamble up all in here before we start. Kaneki, nice evil. Nice evil. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you very, very much. Nice friggin' evil, SSJ. 606%. You did. You beat everybody. You did. You did, Rise. You definitely did. And if you want to check your evil over on YouTube, just do exclamation point evil in the chat. You can check your evil. Hey, Maeve, how are you? Welcome, everybody. Nanita, good day. Deadwalk, 210%. Nice. Nice. Hopefully everything is working without any issues. We had a Windows update yesterday and we did it, and I triple checked everything to make sure it works, but you know how it is when you're live, you know? Anything can happen. Lady Sagara, how are you? How are you? I'm happy to have everybody here. Nice. SSJ 65 stream streak. Thank you so very much for that. Thank you. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you sharing your streaks. I appreciate you coming in here every time I'm live. Thank you so very much. Zach, hello, good morning. Thank you for the streak. Yeah, definitely. I'm still trying to figure out the streak thing. I'm wondering if we should do something with that one. Nice evil. Oh no, you're not late, lady. You're not late. We usually do about 10 minutes or so of just chatting, waiting for everyone to shamble on in because I know it's a Sunday. I know what Sundays are like. SSG, what's going on? My Sunday is going well, SSG Grunt. Thank you so much for asking. We are doing our Just Chatting scene today, which is Coffee Chat of Horrors, and we're deep diving Tommy Lee Wallace. For those of you that do not know who Tommy Lee Wallace is, he's one of the figures behind The Shape, aka Michael Myers. There's some great information on him. So if you're a fan of Halloween franchise or if you're a fan of Michael Myers, then you're going to want to stay tuned to listen to what I have to say about Tommy Lee Wallace. How you having a good weekend, Zach? Nice evil, lady. That's beautiful evil, man. 467. Hey, Prince. Monkey accepted you into the clan, by the way, on Diablo 4. That's why we are here. Cheers. I'm glad you enjoy my deep dives. I like to do a little bit of everything. Some movies, some directors. I think it's really cool to know where the movie came from, not just behind the scenes of how the movie was made, but where it came from, where it was concepted. I think the conception of a film is very important as much as the behind the scenes of a film. That's what I believe. Reaper, how are you? But I like being sweet. You are sweet. That evil is just your, your evil shenanigan side. I have a little over 1,000 thorns in Diablo 4. That is super awesome. Super awesome, Otter. Great. I put a post on Twitter the other day because I keep seeing people talk about horror in a way that it's just movies. And, horror is more than just cheap thrills and jump scares. It's a mirror to our fears, a reflection of society, and a genre that lets us explore trauma, morality, power, and survival in ways that no other genre dares to. And that's something that really sticks with me when it comes to horror. because it is the only drama that the only genre that does all of that. I mean, yes, you have your action films and you have your romantic comedies, but not as much as what horror does for us. And I know movies, just like art, imitate life, and we can definitely see how rough life can be. You know, everyone says life is easy. I don't know about that. Hello, M. Horn. How are you? So I love bringing CCOH to you guys every Sunday. I love deep diving it. I love having the conversations. I enjoy everything about it. So I do hope you guys enjoy my passion project, because this is exactly what CCOH is. It's my passion. It's a project that I friggin' love. Um, and I do hope you guys enjoy it. It's nice when you guys share in the conversations. And if this is your first CCOH, feel free to talk among yourself, ask questions. I do ask you guys to participate in the entire thing, because it's more than just a stream. I want it to be an experience with you guys. I want you guys to be a part of the experience, not just watch me blab. I want your input. I want your thoughts. I want your feelings on things. So it's really awesome that you guys spend time here and hang. Let's see, what time is it? We'll do a few more minutes of waiting, and then we'll dive into our CCOH. We've got a lot to talk about when it comes to Tommy Lee Wallace. He has been the creator behind many, 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 many things. His most famous is Michael Myers, The Shape. He has been in John Carpenter's life for a good amount of time. Has worked on numerous films, and on Saturday night we watched one of his films. It was called Vampires Los Muertos, and it is a sequel to John Carpenter's Vampires. Nice evil, Arthur, 260%. How's your weekend going? Hello, Trini. How are you, beautiful? So many different types of horror. I miss the movies that give high suspension and then show the villain monster close to the end. Yeah, I feel you on that one. I like full high suspense movies as well. Darkbreaker, how are you? Nice. Oh, Trini, you got max evil today. 666%. G friggin' G's. Darkbreaker at 78%. How are you, Darkbreaker? Hello, Mischief Maker. How are you? Sorry, it's starting disconnecting. Doesn't work. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but there's gonna be. Well, Dawn, if you need to watch me on YouTube, you can. If YouTube is easier for your internet connection, you should be able to watch on YouTube. YouTube is a little bit, it's less spicier than Twitch. I'm glad you're doing well today, Trini. I'm doing fabulous, Darkbreaker. Thank you both for asking. I'm pretty fabulous, Mischief. I'm having a really good weekend. It's been very productive. Today I still have some more stuff to do, but it's been good. I hope you've been having a good restful weekend. I know you work your ass off. Some of you guys have what, a 4-day weekend, right? Because it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day in the States on Monday. Hi, Kirby. Oh, thank you. I'm doing fabulous. How are you doing? How is your Sunday treating you? What was for dinner yesterday? Actually, to be honest with you, nothing. Heavy and I had a late lunch. I made chicken fingers. I also had leftover wings, and so we had a little smorgasbord, but we ate late and we weren't really hungry for supper. But I did have at about 8 o'clock 2 hard-boiled eggs. If not YouTube, then try Rumble. Yes, Rumble is really great platform as well. For those of you that don't know about Rumble, it is a creator platform. It's for creators. It's an amazing platform. It doesn't have the bells and whistles that we have on YouTube or Twitch, but it has great community. And it is a little easier on your internet as well. Nice. Dark Breaker. GG's. Thank you so very, very much for the stream streak. 50 of them. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hi, Mad DNA. How are you? I ordered Chinese takeout for Dad and myself after work yesterday. Delicious. What is some of your favorite dishes from the Chinese food place? Rumble is YouTube if YouTube had balls. Exactly, Robert. Exactly. I really enjoy Rumble. I have been on there for a little bit. Some of the channel points aren't going to work. My chest was I don't think they're working. Oh, it is. Okay, I've got to mute them because I can't have them playing during CCOH. So, but if you are not following me over on Rumble, you can definitely do so. Those are right there. On Thursday, I'll be seeing a murder mystery play. Nice. I thought I disconnected that one. Sesame chicken, beef and broccoli, or beef lo mein. Those sound delicious. I am fabulous, Mad DNA. Fabulous. I can't complain. It's Sunday. I'm above ground. I'm breathing. I'm hanging out with some of the most amazing people on the internet. And I'm getting to talk about one of the things I'm most passionate about, and that is horror. So I'm fucking fabulous. Fabulous. On Thursday, I'll be seeing a murder mystery play. Those are awesome, Darkbreaker. I hope you have a great time. I love all the murder mysteries. I have to laugh. Your stream title looks like you're proclaiming you're a horny DVD creator. Does Twitch not change my shit when I change it? Oh my God. You're right. Diella. I'm going to delete that for right now. Oh my God, Diella, you're not wrong. I didn't see that. I didn't delete it, but we need to redo things because we don't want people thinking that. But I'm hoping you're doing well today and you have a great Sunday, but it's nice to see you, Diella. I feel 49. I turned 39 on Friday. Well, happy belated birthday. Happy belated birthday, Robert. Hey, you know what? My 40s have been the best. I have been having a ton of fun in my 40s. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, I forgot to mute the desktop audio dead walk, and it play M Horn played Booby Song. But that's on me because I did not turn it off. But SSG, Maeve, and Mad DNA, thank you so much, guys, for the reposts over on Rumble. I so appreciate all of the support that you guys do for me. And if you're watching me on YouTube, make sure to like the video. Make sure to share it out to your friends. The few things that you guys can do that really help my channel grow is exactly that. Sharing it, liking it, watching it, commenting. These are all of the big things that you can do for free. It doesn't cost a dime and takes a couple of seconds to do. And that goes for any content creator you watch on like platforms like Rumble or YouTube. The liking, the commenting, and the sharing it on your socials or with other people really do help channels grow. It feeds the algorithm. And if you're watching on Twitch, sharing it and on your social medias does help the channel grow as well. Not as much as where Rumble and YouTube have it, but it does help. Oh, well, thank you, M. Horn. I hope you've been well. We are going to get into our coffee chat of horrors with Tommy Lee Wallace. So sit back, enjoy. I hope you have your nice beverage. And yeah, we're going to take a wild ride on who is Tommy Lee Wallace.
Who likes scary movies and coffee?
The following show is based on research on horror movies and what goes on behind the scenes of your favorite scary movies. Horde Entertainment or ReAnimateHer is not responsible for the macabre and horror that you are about to witness. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning. Some horror legends are front and center, and some are hiding in plain sight. Today, we're talking about a man who helped shape Halloween, gave us one of the most misunderstood series in horror history, and traumatized us, an entire generation with a clown. Yes, good day, creepies, and welcome back to Coffee Chat of Horrors. This is your first time here. I am ReAnimateHer, your Queen of Scream, and I'm going to take you on a nightmare-fueled ride. So if this is your first time here, ask questions. Feel free to talk among yourselves. Be a part of the conversation. Right Rise, I don't know, that was my title over on Twitch. You've got a Mountain Dew, but this is the last Dr. Pepper. I like Dr. Pepper, to be honest with you. Okay, this is the only horror history show where we deep dive the people, the films, and the behind-the-scenes stories that shaped the genre we love. In today's episode, it's all about Tommy Lee Wallace, director, editor, writer, production designer, actor, and one of the most quietly influential figures in horror history. So grab your coffee, let the chat roll in, and let's talk about the man who helped create The Shape. Hello, No Pants. How are you? Good morning, DC. Soda is out of control here. I drink Diet Mountain Dew, and it's over $9. Ooh, 12 pack is 14 at Safeway. I don't drink pop. I really don't drink pop. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I get feisty and I'll drink a pop. But I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you're doing well. No Pants Ninja, DC. Yes. Cheers. I've got my coffee. I am drinking the FDC, the fire department coffee in Skull Crusher Espresso. The coffee is made by firefighters and supports firefighters. So every cup you drink helps support a Canadian firefighter. You can pick these up at Walmart or Amazon, and it does support Canadian firefighters. These are heroes. These are superheroes that don't have superpowers or wear fucking capes. So please support your first responders. I've never had a Code Red. Ever. Okay. Welcome into CCOH. Let's get in on this. Tommy Lee Wallace was born September 6, 1949 in Somerset, Kentucky. He's an American director, writer, producer, and actor, but horror fans know him best from his work on Halloween, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, The Fog, Fright Night Part 2, and It from 1990 TV miniseries. Over his career, he's worked on 25 plus films and television projects, often behind the scenes, helping shape horror without always getting into the spotlight. It's probably why some of you have no idea who Tommy Wallace is or what big contribution he plays to the horror industry. It's cherry flavor. Ooh, I like cherry flavored stuff, but I hate fake cherry flavored stuff. I remember when they had Diet Code Red available. That was good stuff. It was awesome with rum. Interesting. And something important to understand about Wallace is he wasn't chasing fame and he wasn't chasing craft. Tommy was an active kid Boy Scout, church league basketball, and he's spoken openly about all of these in his early experiences and how it shaped his independence. He credits the following people: Scoutmasters Homer Parent and Bob Wall for teaching him self-reliance, Doc Wilson for showing him that basketball could actually be cool, and Mary McCombs, his English teacher, for deeply influencing his creative thinking. And then there's one of his favorite quotes from a Reverend Fred Pfister, and basically said, by suggesting that God was going to call me to the ministry, scared me all the way to Hollywood. So that's something interesting to know. That that being said to him from his reverend was, he was like, all right, I'm out of here and I'm going to Hollywood. I can't add booze because to me it tastes like cough syrup. Ooh, yeah, we don't want anything to taste like cough syrup. Cough syrup does not taste good, especially if you ever had Bailey's. It's gross. So does anybody know who Tommy Wallace is here before we get into it any further? Have you heard of him before today's stream? I know some of you have. I know some of you are diehard horror fans, but others are just horror fans that, don't really know the directors behind the scenes unless they're the main masters of horror, which we all know: Wes Craven, John Carpenter. You know what I mean? You've never heard of him. Hello, Devil Dog. How are you? He directed a non-horror film, Aloha, summer starring one of my favorites, Tia Carrera. You're not wrong, DC. He definitely did. The man who made the shape mask for Halloween, 100% he did. Without him, Michael would have been a sad clown. You know who he is. Yeah, I'm still new. I never heard of Tommy, and it's all good. This is why we do this show. We do this show to bring you some information about some of your favorite movies, whether you're a horror buff or not, and you just enjoy and dabble in horror. This show, Coffee Chat of Horrors, is here to bring education to you so you can maybe enjoy it even more, or be like, oh my God, I didn't know that, and learn something new. Maybe some useless information. I keep a lot of it in my head. You have heard of Tommy Lee Wallace. Nice, Trini, nice. I am fabulous, Devil. It's been a really good weekend. It's warm here today. It's like, I don't know, -2. So it's nice. We in Hawaii love any movies and shows about Hawaii, no matter how bad. Nice, DC. Nice. That's awesome. All right. So before horror films, there was music. Tommy's first band was Tomorrow's Children with John Carpenter and John Carpenter's girlfriend at the time, Elizabeth Solly. They were acoustic, folk-inspired, very Peter, Paul, and Mary, which if you're not as old as me, you probably won't know who Peter, Paul, and Mary is. But then came the kaleidoscope, and this is where things get wild. The band included Tommy Lee Wallace on keyboards and vocals, John Carpenter on bass. We have Gary Huff, Tim Hulsey, and Vic Beach. They brought the psychedelic to southern Kentucky with black lights, strobe lights, and Dayglow amps. Yeah. Silent films projected onto drum kits. This wasn't just music, it was atmosphere, and that mindset carries directly into Wallace's film work. And you can see that in his following films, which we're going to dive into. Okay, I know them. I know you know Peter, Paul, and Mary. Hi, Wickedy. How are you? Roz Horror College course, right? I learned about him from the Halloween 25th Years of Terror documentary from '06. Nice, nice. Documentaries are great, and I learn a lot of stuff from documentaries, a ton of stuff from documentaries. Now, in 1976, Wallace worked on Assault on Precinct 13 as an art director, sound effects, and that film is now considered one of the best action films of the 1970s. This was the beginning of Wallace becoming John Carpenter's secret weapon. He wasn't just assisting, he was building worlds. Let's chat about Halloween. Tommy Lee Wallace served as editor, production designer, and yes, he is the man who chose Michael Myers' mask. Wallace wanted everything to fall away except for the mask. Neutral coveralls, non-description boots, no distractions. He went to a shopping mall and found an Emmett Kelly sad clown mask, a Captain Kirk mask. Now, the Kirk mask didn't look like Shatner, it looked blank. So Wallace decided to cut the eye holes bigger in the Shatner mask, remove the sideburns, darken the hair color, spray paint it dead white, and just like that, the shape was born. Now, if Wallace didn't pick up this Kirk mask, he was going to be a sad clown. I mean, could you see that as a difference? Could you see if Tommy Lee Wallace wasn't part of the production design set, that this could have turned into something totally different? But because Tommy utilized his own creative independence, we now have the infamous Michael Myers mask. Exactly, the infamous Shatner mask. 100%. 100%. Those little changes, you know, would we still be all up on Michael Myers if he was like a sad clown? I don't know. I read somewhere that there was also a Spock mask too. Oh, see, I don't know. I didn't see that when I was doing my deep dive on Tommy Lee Wallace, Robert. But who knows? I mean, it's not like I can get every little single piece of research. I do a lot of research. So I didn't see that, but you know what? Could be. But again, we also know that there's a lot of people who like to say they know things and put shit on the internet that aren't true. We see this all the time. Didn't the Emmett Kelly mask have like a bald spot on its head like Dr. Phil? I believe so, but I'm not 100% sure there, Wickedy. Escape from New York is one of my fave Carpenter movies, one of mine as well. Hello, Dead Mom Darlin'. Hey. Hope your day is fab. I'm listening while putting on a face. Sounds great. Well, thank you for listening and lurking, Dead Mom. I hope you're well. I am fabulous. And if you're just joining us, we are discussing on Coffee Chat of Horrors Tommy Lee Wallace and how he helped create the shape into what Michael Myers is today. Wallace also worked on The Fog as an editor, production designer, actor, and he played one of the ghosts. He was nominated for a Saturn Award for special effects alongside Richard L. Bain and James F. Liles. He even pops up musically in Escape from New York and served as a second unit director on Big Trouble in Little China. This man is everywhere. And like I said earlier, he wasn't looking for the spotlight. He's a behind the scenes guy who likes to lurk in the shadows just like The Shape does. And I love Big Trouble in Little China and Escape from New York. These are some of my favorite all-time films that I can watch a trillion times a day. Hi, Horror Stream. How are you? Welcome into Coffee Chat of Horrors. I miss the days of horror magazines. They were a great place of information. I don't blame you. I used to be a diehard Fangoria girl back in the day when they were affordable, and was able to fold up and put it in your back pocket. Big Trouble in Little China is so good. Is such a good movie. You need to rewatch it. Oh, Darkbreaker. I rewatch that film like, I don't even know, 40 times a year. It's one of my favorites. I love Big Trouble. That mine and my late friend George's favorite movie. Very, very nice. Very nice. If this is your first Coffee Chat of Horrors, feel free to talk amongst yourselves. Talk with me. I want this to be a horror experience for you, but in a very fun way. This is a show that educates you on movies, especially in the horror genre. We talk about the directors, how directors have concepted a film. And then we also do behind the scenes of films as well. Because I think you should know more about the director and how a film was concepted, and not just kill counts and not just behind the scenes. Because a lot of it has to do on how the movie was created and how the movie was concepted. And I think that's just as important as behind the scenes. Oh, nice, Darkbreaker. The Internet Archive has a lot of those old horror magazines that they do. I also have a big collection of Fangoria. I have been collecting Fangoria since I was 12. It was one of the first magazines that I purchased with my own money. I was a newspaper girl, and I would go down to the 7-Eleven and I would buy the paperback Fangoria. This is back in the time when Fangoria used to come in like this newspaper type of print. You were literally able to like fold it up and put it in your back pocket. Nowadays, it's really big and thick and glossy type paper. Impossible to do that with, and you will ruin it. But I have a big collection of Fangoria magazines because I have been utilizing them since I was young. And that is a lot of my research. When I do something for CCOH, whether it's a director or a movie that we're deep diving, I always go back into my physical media. Whether it's my Fangoria magazine, Monster magazine, Rue Morgue magazine, any of the books that I have based on horror, or documentaries, or even interviews with directors, we literally deep dive this shit. Back in the day, horror mags were tops. They really were. Horror Stream. You are not wrong. You used to read Fangoria at the library? Nice. Okay, so now let's talk about the most controversial chapter in Tommy's life, and that is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch from 1982, one of my personal favorites. Wallace wrote and directed it, produced by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, may she rest in peace, starring Tom Atkins. The plan was brilliant. A new Halloween story every year, an anthology franchise, because that's what Halloween was supposed to be, an anthology franchise. But Universal failed to explain that to the audience. The backlash when this film came out was brutal. And Wallace later said, "The vindication is sweet," after such a disappointment back in the day. And honestly, history has been very kind to Halloween 3. It now has such a big fan base. People have seen it again and now love the movie because they know that the movie isn't about Michael Myers. And if you know anything about Halloween, it was never supposed to be about Michael Myers. It was never supposed to have as many chapters as Michael. It was supposed to be a one chapter about Michael, the babysitter killer. And then the next episode was supposed to be, the next movie was supposed to be something else. It was supposed to be an anthology of scary movies, very similar to Creepshow, but actual full-length movies. Halloween did so amazingly well that the producers of the movie wanted a second movie. They wanted a sequel, and they did. And that is how Halloween became Michael Myers' movie, but it wasn't supposed to be. And Universal failed epically on trying to get that across to the audience. on that matter, because people were going in to see Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. They assumed automatically it was Michael Myers, and it wasn't. So people literally were pissed off. They talked shit about this movie. It was literally put in the back. Nobody liked it. But then later on, as we know what happens to good movies that bomb in theaters, they become cult classics. The Thing is a masterpiece. And that bombed at the office, like totally bombed at the office. But now look at it. It is a masterpiece. It is a cult classic. And we are going to have an ad over on Twitch. So we are going to stop here for a second because we don't like to put information behind a paywall. And we're going to chit chat freely. Halloween 3 is good as it stands alone. It is a good standalone film. So many of Carpenter's projects were hated on day one, but loved today. You're not wrong, Horror Stream. You're not wrong. Where else am I streaming today? So DC, on Sundays, I stream to YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble. I put this show on 3 different platforms so that the different people can watch on their favorite platform. You read the Fangoria at the library. What's the Addy for the Internet Archive? Here. I will... Now, this one, I'm just going to give you the link. You can go through it. It's the Internet Archive. You can just go through it and you can pick out the horror stuff. You can do the horror films, the 101 Chilling Tales, great horror stories. It's an Internet Archive of everything. Internet Archive. But there are sections that you can navigate to for horror. When I rented it from the video store, I loved it, but was confused as to whether or not it was part of the Halloween franchise. I think a lot of people were. Horror Stream. No internet at the time to answer your questions. No. What's up, Dead Walk? Yeah, it gets the treatment that The Fly 2 and the Halloween Friday the 13th 5 get, but most are great movies as standalones. 100%, Robert. I love The Fly. Now, The Fly is Jeff Goldblum's Fly, which was David Cronenberg, is a remake of the original movie The Fly. And I love The Fly. You just finished watching Scream 2. Nice, Oracle. Right on. Internet Archive. Is that Wayback Machine or different one? I believe that's a completely different one. I don't think I've ever used Wayback Machine. I might have to look into that. Hello, Speedy. Happy Sunday. I've only seen Jeff Goldblum's Fly, and I love that one. Oh, I love it too, DC, but I love the original. I did do a deep dive on The Fly. It is such a cool behind-the-scenes movie. I loved everything about doing the CCOH on that. If you want to check that out, it is on my YouTube channel under my Coffee Chat of Horrors playlist. I should honestly keep my playlist open and tagged in here, and I don't do that. So let me go and do that, meow. And then you guys can watch all of my 90-something episodes. We've been doing Coffee Chat of Horrors now for close to 9 years. Close to 9 years. So it's 9 seasons of CCOH. And I have done interviews with directors, filmmakers, the writers. We've done quite a bit of fun stuff on CCOH. And let me see. I will get you guys the link to Coffee Chat of Horrors because yeah, this is the 94 videos in total. There are quite a few that I did not get to put on here, but let's see if we can find The Fly. Oh, Squirrel Time's over. There we go. Wayback Machine is the main backup archive. Current is built on it. Oh, okay, the Current is built on it. I got you. Thank you very much, Reaper, for that. I wasn't sure what the Wayback Machine was because hello, Devil. Hello. I will get you guys the link. Here is the chapter of CCOH on YouTube. If you guys want to check out The Fly and all of the great information that I have dug up on it, you can do so there. There is some amazing behind the scene facts for The Fly, 100%. Especially the scene of Seth's melting eyeball scene. It's creepy. But okay, we got to get back to Tommy Lee Wallace because I can squirrel like anybody. I'm like a mofo. So let's get back into it. Just found your package is coming tomorrow between 10:20 and 2 p.m. Oh, nice. So we will be live during that time. I'm excited. We'll open it live on stream. Okay. Now, in 1990, Tommy Lee Wallace wrote the teleplay and directed Stephen King's The It. Yes, a made-for-TV series that traumatized kids, created generational fear, cemented Pennywise as a horror icon. It wasn't flashy, it was intimate, and it understood childhood fear better than most theatrical releases ever had. The It scared the shit out of me as a child. I watched that movie way too young. Tim Curry blew my mind. Pennywise the Clown was atrocious. He was scary as fuck, and I think one of the reasons why I don't like clowns, I don't have a clown phobia. I just don't like them. I prefer the OG miniseries. Nice. There's been quite a few It movies. Made for TV miniseries was the 1990 one, right? I love the 1990 It. Yeah, I had the double VHS of it, and as a kid, a lot of us saw this movie, this TV series, this miniseries growing up. I know I did. I mean, it came out in 1990. And I seen it. I rented it from the video store, and it literally scared the shit out of me, knowing that this town thing could come and get you and take you. And you watch the scene with Georgie. Tell me that didn't traumatize anybody. Here's this cute little kid playing in the rain with their rain jacket, which many of us did, had this little paper boat. It goes floating down and then into the gutter. I never looked at a gutter the same again. I have never looked at one of those the same again. Every time I see one, I think there's a fucking clown in it. I mean, who can watch The It or Jaws and not think about a giant shark coming to bite your ass? I mean, you look at the ocean, what comes to your mind? Jaws. You look at a friggin' sewer, what do you see? It. So, I mean, those movies traumatize. They really put their stamp in our lives when you grew up. Now, I can't talk about, and I feel bad for this younger generation because you will never understand the fear that we had because we didn't have the internet. We didn't have Google. We couldn't search to see if this shit was real or not. And I think a lot of people, I think the younger generations, I feel sorry for them. I do. I really do, because they're never going to have the experience that we had when we first watched a horror movie. We all float down here, and you'll float too. Welcome to Derry is amazing with continuing the story. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm liking it. I'm definitely liking where it's coming from. 100%. So let's see here. What else do we have for Tommy? Let's see. And what is our time? Oh, we're not doing too bad, guys. I'm pretty happy about that. What is one of your favorite Tommy Lee Wallace films? Now, we know Fright Night Part 2. That was one of Tommy's films. Vampires, Los Muertos, which is a sequel to John Carpenter's Vampires. We watched that this Saturday in the Discord. We have numerous movies. The Fog was really good. He didn't direct it, but he was a part of creating it. We got Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, which he created. Rain and Sewers and Running Outside with a Yellow Raincoat. Yeah. Maybe that's why they stopped producing yellow raincoats. Like, I stopped seeing people in yellow raincoats. I'd rather watch a crappy old horror movie than anything made today. Yeah, we've lost something. But you know what? In horror movies, we've lost something. We really have. We've lost something. And I said that even back in the day when we had our classic movies, like with Vincent Price, directors like William Castle, the black and white films, the Universal Monsters. There's something that we're missing from that era as well into our movies into the 80s. And then as we move into the 90s, it was still, it was decent. 90s, 2000s. I think now we're missing a lot. And for those that are just getting into the whole horror scene, we are missing things. We are missing things. I don't know what it is. I can't really peg it, but today's horror movies don't hit like the ones from yesteryear. And I'm not talking about slashers. I'm talking about the whole kit and caboodle. Tommy did Fright Night too. Yes, he did. I love crappy old horror movies. Hi, Slipknot. Don't we all? Don't we all? It lost something. It throughout the eras, it has lost something. I think part of its loss of sense of wonder. Everyone knows what's going on behind the curtain. Everyone does know. I don't know if extreme horror or extreme horror scenes have ruined anything. I love extreme horror, and I'm not talking about Terrifier. Terrifier is not that. I mean, its gore is great. Peggit, who's doing the pegging? Honestly, Sleepaway Camp from 1983 is so bad that it's good. It's a good movie. I love Sleepaway Camp. Angela is a great final gal. Killer. Thank you, Speedy, for the 25 stream streak. I appreciate it. There is a lot of modern horror is crap today. You're not wrong. You're really not wrong. Thank you for the streak, Hype. I appreciate that streak. I don't know what it is today, what we're missing. But it's the suspense, the way your heart beat with the stillness, with the silence. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but things have definitely changed into this new era of what we have as horror. I don't know what it is, but like I said, I do miss that feeling when I would go to see a horror movie or if I was watching it on the TV. I don't know, maybe it was just because we're first seeing it. But yeah, I don't know. Rhea, I saw a 1970 film the other day called Fear, in the night about a woman who's attacked by an unarmed man every night and no one believes her. Oh. Hi, Joker. How are you? There's a lot of modern horror that just doesn't work. There is a lot of modern horror that does not work. One of my favorite franchise, which I still believe brings that suspension and tenseness in, and that's the Conjuring series. I think the Conjuring series helps keep that tension. I do enjoy that series, and we're also getting we're getting more Conjuring movies. Just an FYI, they released that information the other day. From the story down to the effects and everything in between. Yeah, a lot of it's fast horror. Have you noticed that? Like fast horror, meaning that it comes out really quick. I mean, there has been some really good horror movies, don't get me wrong. There has been. You like the Black Phone films? I like the Black Phone. I like the first one. The second one reminded me of Dream Warriors, but it wasn't bad at all. I like that it went into a supernatural route because obviously the first one was supernatural. So Black Phone to me is a supernatural film. Luckily, the 80s has so many good movies. The 80s did have many, many good movies, but I also say that we've missed something, even in the 80s, that the older films we don't see anymore. We don't see the class in some of the older horror movies. I show my grandbabies Universal monster movies because there's a lack of violence in them. There's a lack of blood and a lack of sex. Now, I'm not saying sex and violence don't belong in horror because they fucking do. Nudity definitely belongs in horror, 100%. And if you think otherwise, pretty lame. You love the Conjuring universe movies a lot. Nice, Trini, nice. I do believe nudity. You are the most vulnerable when you're sitting on the toilet. You know what I mean? You're most vulnerable when you're about to have that sex with that boy or whatever the fuck it is. Horror makes it scarier when you are vulnerable, right? So when you're walking out and about and you're dressed and you're clothed, well, okay, you're not really that vulnerable. But when you're getting undressed to go into the camp shower, boom, bitch, you dead. You're most vulnerable. But there's just something different from the movies back then to movies from the 80s and movies into today. And I show my grandbabies a lot of the Universal black and white films. I show her Frank Castle films, which is House on Haunted Hill. We have The Tingler. There are numerous amazing movies. And again, back then, they did not have to rely on gore tactics. They did not have to rely on that. They relied on jump scares. Not all jump scares, but high tension jump scares where the buildup was real. And I believe we're missing that nowadays in our horror. You know, I do. Ghoulies and the toilet scene. Oh my God. Okay, here's a funny story for you. We're gonna fucking, steer off the road a little bit with Tommy here. I can watch old black and white films just for the sets. 100% horror. It's just beautiful. There is okay. So my cousin TJ, he was quite young, and we watched the Ghoulies. Now, the Ghoulies, I loved it. It's a great low budget film. It's funny as hell. However, my cousin TJ and me and my cousin Maria, TJ was always younger than us by several years. And we told him that he can't mess around with the toilet because there's ass-eating piranhas that live in the sewer and they will come up and bite your ass. Now, remember, he's seen the movie Ghoulies, okay? And for the longest time, my aunt was pissed off at us. He would not use the toilet because he was afraid that ass-eating piranhas were gonna come up and bite his ass. Mind you, we were kids. I was an asshole. So was my cousin. So we scared the shit out of him, literally. He wouldn't use the toilet. It took my aunt some time to, teach him that, there is no ass-eating piranhas in the toilet. Hammer films were great, but Hammer films also had some sex in them. They were a little more risque than your Universal monsters, right? The first black and white movie I ever watched, became hooked with horror, was What Happened to Baby Jane. Oh, that's definitely a classic. Ass-eating rats, maybe, possibly. Believe it or not, Rhea, ass-biting snakes could come through the toilet. Oh, I'm pretty sure they could. All right, so let's get back to our Tommy Lee Wallace. Now, Tommy Lee Wallace isn't loud. He isn't flashy, but horror would not be what it is without him today. From Mask to music to misunderstood masterpieces, he is a horror hidden architect. And if you enjoyed today's deep dive, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you repost, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, make sure you do so. Also, don't be afraid to ring that bell so you don't miss out on any future Coffee Chat of Horror movies, deep dives. Next Sunday, we're going to be deep diving Mick Garris, Stephen King collaborations, master of horror, and one of the most important bridges between horror fans and creators. Thank you for hanging out with me on this Sunday. Until next time, stay creepy. And that is the end of our CCOH. We're going to head into our just chatting scene so we can sit and chit chat. I'm so happy I was able to get this in the allotted time. Thank you, Deadwalk, for posting out my CCOH channel over on Rumble. If you guys aren't following my CCOH channel on Rumble, please do so. We definitely do our horror chat over there as well. And if you haven't checked out Rumble, please do so. Rumble's a great platform. Hello, Antisocial. How are you? And if you did miss any part of CCOH, you can always watch the VOD on my YouTube channel or on Rumble itself. I will be editing down some of the CCOH on YouTube. And so it's a little bit shorter, a little more information and without all the just chatting. Thank you, Horror Stream. I appreciate the follow for CCOH. But now, do you have a better understanding of who Tommy Wallace is and what he provided for the horror genre? Knowing all of his work is great. We actually sat down yesterday in the Discord and we watched Vampires Los Muertos. It stars Johnny Depp. It is not Johnny Depp, John Bon Jovi. Sorry, John Bon Jovi. And it is a sequel to John Carpenter's Vampires. You're somewhat breathing. Well, hey, you're above ground, Antisocial, so that's a great day. You're above ground. Had to somewhat lurk for the first half an hour. Cursed company. Oof. How dare they come over before CCOH and stay, right? The nerve of them. No. It's all good. It's not like you can't rewatch some of the video on VOD services like YouTube or Rumble. I will also have clips that go to the movie as well. Yeah. So every Saturday night in the Discord, usually at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, sometimes earlier in the day, we watch the movie or a movie from the director we're going to deep dive. Who here knows who Mick Garris is? Anyone? He may not be as famous. He does make a lot of lower budget movies, in my opinion. He is an amazing American filmmaker, a screenwriter, and novelist. We are going to talk about Mick Garris next Sunday. So at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, guys, be here or be square. It's the principle of it. But hey, they brought food and the dog. Well, you know, they brought food and a dog. So I understand it. I understand it. Megan Garris's father. Have you heard of the movies Sleepwalkers, Critters 2, The Shining from 1997, Masters of Horror TV series in 2005, Nightmare Cinema, Bag of Bones, Riding the Bullet? No, I know what you were saying there, Slipknot. That's why I was laughing at it. I love Sleepwalkers. I love Sleepwalkers. You've seen Master of Horrors? Nice, nice. Psycho, The Beginning. He's done a lot of movies, a lot of low budget stuff. Like I said, Mick Garris isn't overly known. The Fly 2, 1989, is also Mick Garris. Robert was saying that they love The Fly 2, so that's a Mick Garris film. We have Virtual Obsession, King on Screen, which is a documentary about Stephen King. He also did the Psycho Legacy. There's quite a bit of information on Mick Garris, and since you don't know who he is, we are definitely going to be discussing him 100%. He was also worked on The Howling. Now, some of the films he's directed, some of the films he's screenwrited, but we're going to talk about the majority of him and his career. I think Amazon or Hulu has Masters of Horror. Nice. It might. Tubi does as well. If you're on American Tubi, you can check it out. Alice Krieg was also in another great horror film called Ghost Story. Nice, nice. But yeah, I like bringing the directors that aren't in the spotlight. Everybody knows Wes Craven. Everybody knows John Carpenter, right? These are two names. These are household friggin' names. But when you bring up Mick Garris, everyone's like, who the fuck is Mick Garris? Mick Garris has done a lot of shit for the horror genre. A lot of shit for the horror genre. So, you know, he also is doing a podcast series where we might actually watch Masters of Horror, his episodes in CCOH for Saturday. He definitely is, and it's kind of sad that, like I said, Tommy Lee Wallace is also another great horror icon, but is in the shadows. She is very beautiful. Yeah, 100%. No, you really can't be mad at them. I understand that. Who here has seen Sleepwalkers? Maybe we'll watch Sleepwalkers. Sleepwalkers was released in 1992. Mick also is known for he's known for working with Stephen King a lot. He does a lot of the adaptations. The Stand, the miniseries, The Shining, the miniseries, Sleepwalkers, Riding the Bullet, Desperation, Bag of Bones. He also helped in films like Critters 2 and Psycho, The Beginning. But he's not in the spotlight like other directors are, right? And other filmmakers. So I definitely want to bring you guys some information about those. But he's one of the most that works with Stephen King and does his adaptations. I've seen Sleepwalkers a long time ago. Okay, so Sleepwalkers, it is this Saturday in the Discord. We will do Yeah, probably 6 p.m. Mountain Time. I don't know. Usually it's 6 p.m. Mountain Time unless I'm going out for dinner or something like that on Saturday night. But most of the time it's there. If you are in the Discord and would love the movie role, please let us know if you don't already have it. It is a role that gets handed out because it is a role that gets tagged. So myself and Darkbreaker run movies in the Discord on the weekend. So Saturday nights at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and then Sundays after Coffee Chat of Horrors at about a 1 p.m. Mountain Time, Darkbreaker goes in and hosts a couple of movies during the daytime. So if you're interested, anybody is welcome to host a movie as well. It's not limited to just me and Darkbreaker. It's just that Darkbreaker and I are the only ones that do them. Oh, by the way, tonight's movie is Vampire Zombies from Space. Nice. Who here has seen the miniseries, in 1997, The Shining? Now, I know that one isn't as popular as Stanley Kubrick. But this one is, honestly, it's not a horrible movie either. So I don't know. Maybe we'll watch, oh God, either Sleepwalkers or Stephen King's The Shining, which again is not Stanley Kubrick. I've never seen that one. Okay. It's a new one, but looks old. Okay. Is that, yes, that's the miniseries with the guy from Wings. Yes. I saw it back in the day on TV. Rhea, have you seen a 1970s film called Vampire Circus? No, I don't believe I have, Wickety. Well, it's a toss-up, man. It's a toss-up. Do we watch Stephen King's The Shining? Or do we watch Sleepwalkers? Both are good. The Shining that Mick Garris directed is more true to the book compared to the other one. So we could try to do a double feature. We can try to start it earlier in the day. Well, Rise Yellow was just like double feature. So maybe we will do a double feature in the Discord. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do a double feature. I'll start it a little early. How long is the Stephen King miniseries though first? I think it's The Shining, Mick Garris. Okay, so let's see. Oh, yeah. Mick Garris, okay, written a total runtime of 4 hours, 30 minutes. So 273 minutes. A 4-hour fucking movie. So it was a made for TV miniseries. They're long, just like Stephen King's The It. I watched the Kubrick movie while reading the first chapters of the book, and it made me think more kindly of the movie. Yeah. Let's see where we can find the miniseries. Supposedly on Tubi. Let's verify Tubi Canada first, because Tubi US and Tubi Canada are completely different monsters. So, let's see. The Shining. I may have to use my VPN. Yeah, it's not on the Canadian one. Monkey Shine's Trilogy of Terror. Nice. They finally got Dead and Breakfast. Right on. Right? Tubi or not Tubi? That is the question. Tubi is great. You don't have to. I was just BSing. Oh, we've done double features before, Rise. We've done double features before. Deadbeat is a good comedy that is on it's 3 seasons. If anybody is interested in that one. It's on Canadian. I don't know if you guys have it. It has one of my favorite Canadian actors, Tyler Labine. Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. Let's see. Yeah, so it's not on my Canadian side of things, and it's a 4-hour movie. So maybe we'll stick to Sleepwalkers, because I don't know if y'all are going to be able to sit there for 4 fucking hours. Unless you guys want to watch it on your own and break it up, you guys can do that. Sleepwalkers is not 4 hours. Yeah, you guys have it in the States. Yeah, 100%. It's not on the Canadian version, which doesn't surprise me. So I'll just use my VPN. However, it's decent. If you've never seen it, I would highly recommend it. I definitely recommend you watching it if you haven't checked it out. Is there any other directors you want to talk about on Coffee Chat of Horrors? Could be a current horror movie director. It could be a previous horror movie director. I think someone said they have it on their Plex. Oh, maybe Darkbreaker. Darkbreaker has Plex. Because I am taking recommendations of what you guys want to see. Is there a movie you want me to deep dive? I mean, we've already done. Okay, so we've done John Carpenter, we've done William Castle, we've done Wes Craven, George Romero. We did speak a bit on Alfred Hitchcock. There's Toby Hooper we haven't done. We've done Dario Argento. We've done an Italian. Oh, David Cronenberg. How about that one for you guys? I love me some David Cronenberg. And if you don't know who he is, oh yes, okay, you need to know who he is. I've done Rob Zombie. Yeah, we've done a whole bunch of directors. We have newer ones like Jordan Peele, Robert Eggers, Ari Aster, James Wan. But we also have Toby Hooper and David Cronenberg. Osgood Perkins. You want to hear about Osgood Perkins? Let's write this down. Let me pull out my notepad here. And we will write these down. Movies as well, guys. Movies as well. Okay, so Osgood Perkins. We can definitely do that. Oz would be great. Deep dive in. Zack Snyder. If he's directed some movies, we can add him in there. Zack Snyder. Let's do David Cronenberg. The Shining and Doctor Sleep are both great movies. What is up, Zombie Nation? Oh, Fede Alvarez. Yeah. Oh, we're getting into some newer ones. That's awesome. I love Fede Alvarez. I'm a huge Alvarez fan. I'm up for any horror director. Awesome. Let's see who else. Let's see who else out there. We've spoke about John Carpenter, Wes Craven, George Romero, Argento, Bava. We've talked about Fulci. We can do a Sam Raimi as well. Add on Sam Raimi. He's got a lot of information behind him as well. He's been in it for a while. Yeah, he's one of the modern directors. Yeah, he's one of the modern directors I fucking love. Have you done any horror actors? No. Not really. I've done stunt actors because they have a longer lineage in the horror. But I haven't done things like Lee Wallace or what's her fucking name? Sam Raimi would be good. Are there any movies you want me to deep dive that you're interested in? There's also M. Night Shyamalan. I don't know if anyone enjoys his stuff. We're gonna add Toby Hooper to the mix. Barbara Steele. Ooh, we can do some female directors too, because we do talk a lot about male directors because there's a fuck ton of them. But yeah, Barbara Steele. Yep, she's an actress. M. Night stuff is weird in a good way. Yeah, he is weird. Tim Burton. Yeah, we can add Tim Burton. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do Okay, so Mischief Maker loves M. Night, so we're gonna pop M. Night up in this bitch as well. I believe I did one on Tim Burton. Let me double check. But we can do it again. I've done a lot, right? We've got 9. I did. Yeah, I did 5 years ago. Holy shitballs. 5 years ago, Coffee Chat of Horrors presents Tim Burton's Sweeney Todd. That is what we discussed, so we didn't deep dive him completely, but we did Tim Burton, Sweeney Todd, and Batman, which we did speak lightly on Tim Burton, but that was 5 years ago. So we're gonna add Tim. We're gonna add Tim Burton to. Like I said, I've been doing Coffee Chat of Horrors for a long time. This is not something that is new. I have been doing deep dives into horror movies and directors for a long time. 5 years. Well, it's 9 years old, to be honest with you. I started CCOH on a platform called Mixer. And we were, back in the day, we were doing CCOH every Sunday throughout the year. Every Sunday. So think about how many CCOHs I've done in a year. So every year that there's every month that has Sundays in it, I've done a CCOH. We started around season, oh, what was it? I don't remember what season it is. I think maybe season 7, season 6 of CCOH. I started breaking it up into actual seasons because it was just a lot of work. When you do everything yourself, I do have some help. Mr. Reaper 1923 is my cohort. He creates all of the graphic images that you see on CCOH. Rumble feels like that these days. Yes, it does, Maeve. 100%. I'm glad you can remember. 5 years time flies when you're having fun. It definitely does, Reaper. It definitely does. I've done Kane Hodder, but we can definitely do Kane Hodder. I have Kane Hodder's book. I don't know if you guys have read it. It's a good fucking book. It's a big ass book. I can show it to you if you guys want. That is something that I would utilize. I'm actually in it too, his book, because he had a pre-order, and you are able to send in some of your pictures that you have seen Kane Hodder with. Yeah, Friday is the movie. Friday, that's a good movie, and it is a big book. Have you guys seen it? I can show it to you. It's in my living room. It's a big book. I love horror movie books. I love biography books. There are several that I want on Amazon. I like reading about them. I'm not a big reader, but I do enjoy them, especially when I do a CCOH. That's where I go. Trachtenberg might be considered sci-fi more than horror. You know what? I don't mind doing sci-fi. Sci-fi is, sci-fi horror is pretty goddamn big. Michelle? No. She passed away. Dan. You're talking about Dan. We can add Dan. There's a list. I love the X-Files. Oh, Rise. On my YouTube membership live stream that we did earlier this week. So Wednesday mornings, I do horror news and chat for YouTube members and Rumble Premium. It's my VIP streams. We discussed the new X-Files that's coming. Prey, 10 Cloverfield. Okay, nice. I didn't think I could like Kane Hodder anymore, and then I heard the Spawn's necklace story. I know, right? So for those of you that are newer, I do a lot of horror cons, and what Zach is talking about is my youngest Spawn is super shy and loves horror movies. We went to Calgary Horror Con one year, and she wore her Friday the 13th mask, painted her eyes like all black, and she's super shy, and she wanted to meet Kane Hodder. I've met Kane Hodder numerous times, but she's never met him. And we're standing in the line, and she's getting super nervous. And I bring her over to Kane, and we're talking to him, and she's standing behind me, hiding, and she's afraid. And I tell him that. I'm like, sorry, but my daughter is super, super shy, but she loves your work, and she loves Jason Voorhees. And he was so fucking gentle with her and so nice. He went into his own bag and took out his very own Friday the 13th Jason Voorhees necklace, this little Jason mask that he had, and he gave that to her. He explained to her that when he was a young kid, he was super shy, and had all these other things that she is also dealing with. And just the way he spoke to her, by the time they were done talking, she was taking pictures with him and posing as he's grabbing her by the throat and pretending to choke her. There was a ton of shit. By the time we were done. Hey, babe. Hi, Loki. Well, that feels nice. It is so awesome. Um, it is great. Heavy says hi, everybody. Yeah. Okay. It is. Yeah, Mr. Loki-san. But like I said, he is such a great guy. There's a lot of bad things that have been said about Kane. It is what it is. But the fact that he literally took the time, he didn't care how long his line was. He took the time to talk to a young fan who was super shy and took that time and acknowledged it. And by the time they were done, like, she was totally stoked. And to this day, she remembers that. And she will remember it all of her life. She's now 22 years old. So we have some really good memories of going to horror cons. But that's why horror cons are important, and meeting these people. People can say what they want, but he made your daughter's day. He made my daughter's fucking year. She still has his necklace, and she's afraid to lose it. So she has it. It's in one of her little boxes, and it stays there. She used to hang it up on the wall in her bedroom with her Friday the 13th mask that he signed for her. But she now has it in her new place. She has it in her jewelry box. I just found a cute behind the scenes picture of Clovis the cat from Sleepwalkers sitting on Stephen King's lap. That's cute. Just because he played a killer doesn't mean he doesn't have a soft heart. 100%. I'd be worried about losing something like that too. Yeah. So she has it. I even have her mask, her signed mask, which I'm shipping to her next week because she's moved to BC for her university, right? So we've been sending some of her stuff, but she made sure to take her Friday the 13th charm that Kane Hodder gave her. But it's nice. It's really nice. It's nice to see. It's nice to hear, and it's very heartwarming to see someone of his stature do what he did. He didn't have to, you know. I don't know if I trust that to the post. Yeah. She's gonna be out here in the summer, so I might have her bring it back then. Hello, prophets, darling. Hello. Like I said, if you missed any part of Coffee Chat of Horrors, you can watch the VOD on Rumble or on YouTube. I will definitely be editing out a piece of it on YouTube, so we just get to the CCOH part. Kane Hodder is a good dude. Yeah, he is human. We all make mistakes, right? We're not perfect. However, you shouldn't be afraid to make mistakes either. If you're not following me over on Rumble, please do so. Rumble is another amazing platform that's for creators. And I say for creators. If you guys aren't aware of what happened to me last week on Rumble, I will give you guys a little bit of a story. Rhea, pal, I met CJ Graham, and he said he was blown away. He's like, this guy is freaking monster. He's huge. I love CJ Graham. I've met CJ Graham quite a few times. I actually got to hang out with him and sit down and chit chat about shit. So last week I was streaming, and I don't even remember what we were playing. Did you break Rumble? No, but Rumble broke me. We were streaming, and the CEO of Rumble came into my channel and tipped me $500. Like, no fucking joke. Tipped me $500. If you're sleeping on Rumble because you're afraid of its politics, shame on you. The CEO has been going around Rumble dropping tips on its creators because it's a platform for creators. It is very reminiscent of the Mixer days back in the day, but the CEO comes around and is tipping people $200, $1,000, and not to just their top 1%. I am a nobody on Rumble. My view count reaches anywhere between 11 and 50 people watching, and that's random. But I get posted on their editor's pick on a regular basis. Several times a month, I get handpicked to be put on their front page in their editor's choice, which Twitch, I've got to apply for and get denied for every month. Be on their front page. Exactly. Oh, why is my hype command not working correctly over there? I thought I needed my eyes checked, but nope, it was $500. I was blown away that it was $500. And that is a CEO of the platform. There is no CEO of any platform going around doing that to their creators, especially some of their regular creators, not their top 1%ers. I remember Kane Hodder set the canonic rule that Jason must never hurt animals. Yeah. Jason's never hurt an animal or murdered a child, unlike Michael Myers. Twitch has the dumbest front page. I posted a pic the other day. You did, DC. You did. But yeah, the Rumble CEO came in and dropped me $500. Also, every so often, a couple of times a month, I'm handpicked to be put on the editor's page. On Twitch now, I apply as a partner every month to be put on the front page. Every month I am denied. It's been 3 years and I've been denied every month. So like I said, I am not that big on Rumble. I have 363 followers on Rumble. I have a view count between 11 viewers and 50, sometimes 100 and change if I get put on the editor's pick. And I get handpicked to be put on their fucking editor's choice. So lots of differences between platforms. I heard Chris is going to be blessing quite a few tomorrow. Yes, Prophets, you're not wrong. I did retweet Chris's post. So Chris is the CEO of Rumble. He is going to be going around on Monday and tipping creators again. It does not matter the size, guys. You are not picked on because you're a big creator and you have tons of viewers or you make the most money on the platform. You are handpicked because your content is quality. That is a difference. And I keep telling my wife that. Yeah, F-twat. I won't be online tomorrow. Boo, I have a busy night. That sucks. But hey, it's still a start of a platform, right? You have me up on all three now? Well, thank you, DC. You don't have to do that. I don't pressure anybody in watching me on all three. I don't even pressure my mods to watch me on all three. I'm like, if you guys can do it, do it. If not, I'll handle it. Because most of the time, we don't have too many trolls. In one of the Friday the 13th movies, there was supposed to be a scene where Jason kills a dog and Kane said to the director, Jason wouldn't do that. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And do you know, even going back to like the Steve Dash era of Friday the 13th, from part 2 and up, there's a scene where we show a mutilated dog, but obviously it wasn't Jason who did that because we found out that the dog lives in the end. Lies. She beats us if we say no. Yeah, but you like the beatings. I mean, come on. I am unimpressionable. It's all good. I like to support good people, and I appreciate that, DC. I do. Thank you so very much. But tomorrow we're diving in to Silent Hill F. We are going to be getting back into that game. Also, we're going to be streaming a little earlier because Mondays I'm no longer streaming for Gunner. That'll be on Wednesdays now. Gunner has changed our live streaming to 1 day a week, one streamer a day. So on Wednesdays will be my live streams, which will be starting at 1 p.m. She has whips behind. Behind. Shh, don't tell people the whips that are hanging from my chair. It's what I beat my mods with. Thank you for popping my Twitter out there. Sticks and stones may break Deadwalk's bones, but whips and chains excite them. That is the sticker on the back of my roller derby helmet, but not saying Deadwalk in there. Oh, we're getting to be that time again. So here is the upcoming list for CCOH that you guys have chosen. The masses have spoken. Sunday is Mick Garris. Then we're going to have Osgood Perkins, Zack Snyder, David Cronenberg, Fede Alvarez, Sam Raimi, Toby Hooper, M. Night Shyamalan, Tim Burton, Kane Hodder, Dan Trachtenberg. And if there's anything else that you guys would like to see me do, please post it in the comments. Let me know. Maeve, thank you for your 43-month resub as a Shadow Master over on YouTube. I greatly appreciate it. Mwah, thank you, thank you, thank you. The Horde is the best community on any streaming platform. You are not wrong, 100%. And this Wednesday, we will be having our YouTube members only stream, horror news and more. If you've missed it last Wednesday, it is in the membership side of YouTube, guys. You can check it out. I talk about the new X-Files that is coming. We are getting a reimagining of sorts of the X-Files from the creator of Sinners. So if you want to catch that, it's on YouTube on the membership section. And if you're on Rumble, we will be having our Rumble Premium stream as well. That is for subscribers of the channel, and as Rumble Premium is. So that'll be Wednesday. It should be around 11 a.m. It's an hour-long show that I do for, it's a VIP show. Rhea, I heard someone say they believe Terminator 1 is a horror film. Would you agree? It could be a horror film. Really, any movie that disgusts you, scares you, gives you anxiety can be considered a horror movie. The Wizard of Oz, Return to Oz, to me, that's fucking a horror. Flying friggin' monkeys? A witch that's trying to kill you? You know? Alien vs. Predator? AVP is great. I did a CCOH on Predator. Many years ago. Oh my God. Let me see. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let me see how long ago that was. Oops. I can't even spell it. The Predator franchise, yeah, it's a great franchise. Return to Oz, oh my gosh, when all those women's heads in the building, right? Horror. We did do one 6 years ago. Sunday Coffee Chat of Horrors, Predator Edition. It is back in the day when we used to do CCOH a lot longer. That was a 2-hour show. It was my Predator edition, so we talked about Predator. You remember that? Nice. Terminator 1 is 100% a horror film in my opinion. I would agree with you, Slipknot, but anything can be considered a horror movie. The Goonies, scariest horror movie ever. Well, The Goonies can definitely be considered a horror movie. In 3 years, the Terminator will travel back to 1984 to kill Sarah Connor. And on Alien, yes, Skynet, anyone. We're headed to Skynet, man. Did you see the AI shit? I showed off some AI stuff, some scary AI stuff in our stream the other day, and my God, judging by my use of Copilot this morning, we don't have to worry about AI in our lifetime. Diella, did you see the AI guy that created a cute, thin female that looks 110% real? Did you see that? Oh my Lord, that is fucking scary. And if you haven't seen it, guys, ooh, I think it's scary. I think it's scary as a woman. I think it's scary as a human being. I think it's scary. The fact that these people can imitate actual humans and you cannot figure it out if they're not real. It's definitely scary. Yeah, you're working on your laser rifle at the moment. Right on. Right on. I did showcase. Hey, Ash, how are you? Happy Sunday. I did post. Yeah, you know what? Diella, have you seen this? I'm gonna see if I can screen cap it. Crazy to see the first rendition they scrapped after shooting a few scenes and fired the costume guy that hired the guy that made the Predator we all know. Yeah. How is your day going today, Ash? I had to make sure I stopped that because I don't want the sound. I don't want YouTube to yell at me because YouTube has a habit of yelling at me. Right here. Okay, so Diella, watch this. What's up, Stay Tappin'? Do you see this guy? Okay, this guy is real. Tell me how many people are going to get catfished by this. It looks real. How do you know it's not real? You know what I mean? If you didn't see this guy in the lower corner, you wouldn't fucking know. There isn't one thing that you can pull out from here to tell me, can you F it? Probably if you had a rubber doll. Hi, Seven. How are you? It definitely looks real. Now, you can't say that AI isn't going to take over, man. Because look at that shit. Especially the scene when the Terminator skeletal rises from the fire and chases Sarah and Kyle at the end. Yeah, Terminator is a great franchise. I love the Terminator films. But catfish like a motherfucker, yeah. And I gather there are people already doing it on OF. 4 minutes. Nice. Thank you. I hope you're doing well, Seven. How is your new job? How are you liking it? Definitely quite scary. Oh, and we were just talking about Rumble and Rumble's editor pick. Good morning, Aaron. How are you? How are you doing? CCOH is currently on the editor's pick as we speak right now. I was just put up on the editor's pick for Coffee Chat of Horrors. We were just talking about that. We were just talking about how great Rumble is for creators. Good. You're still in training. Awesome, Seven. It is definitely a W. Definitely a W. It's always nice to be put on an editor's pick. And you can find all the editor's pick right in the sidebar on rumble.com. And like I said, it's a good platform. Ad break incoming. Okay, we're going to hold off here and we're going to chit chat before I do our credits. But like I said earlier, if you missed, hi Ben, if you missed any part of Coffee Chat of Horrors, you will be able to check out the VOD on Rumble and on YouTube, guys. We spoke about Tommy Lee Wallace, the creator behind The Shape, Michael Myers' Mask himself, who also directed Vampires Los Muertos, was a part of The Fog, has been a part of John Carpenter's life for many eons. And next Sunday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, right here on Rumble and YouTube and Twitch, we are going to be deep diving Mick Garris. And if you don't know who he is, make sure you tune in next Sunday to learn. Although you learn some fucked up shit, let me tell you, I am going to come out of this a changed person. That's awesome, Seven. That's awesome. And I hope the change is for the better. I'm not going to lie. If you are silly enough to pay someone on OF for AI people, that is up to you and your wallet. The person doing it is making some cash for sure. Maybe I could do it. Haha. No, not really. So not for the good. But Maeve, they don't know it's AI. That's the thing. Right? They don't know it's AI. And Ash, thank you for your 165 stream streak. Holy shit. Thank you so very much for that. I really do appreciate it. I mean, you learn what these kids went through. Yeah, you do. And it's horrific because if they end up in juvie, most of the time they've had a very rough beginning. And it's just like anybody who does crime or does something bad like that, serial killers, you know, we know of their monstrous acts, but when you start digging into their past, you kind of feel bad for them being a child because 99% of them had horrific childhoods. And no child should have a horrific childhood. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that. Most of these kids are sex offenders, but they were victims themselves. Yeah, it's so sad. It is so sad, Seven. It definitely is. We make our monsters. No, not 100%. No, you can't. There's no excuse for the behavior because there's a lot of people that have had hard childhood that do not grow up the same way. You know what I mean? You know. But is that ad over? Is that ad over? Or is it still going? I don't even know. Oh, it's finished. All right. So on that note, guys, we are going to do our credits. Next week, starting on Monday, we're returning to Silent Hill F, our story mode gameplay. I'll definitely be going, earning my money. Yeah, you will be. OF isn't just vids either. Those people are probably using AI for personal messages and stories. You're not wrong, Ash. You're not wrong. I want to thank you guys so very, very much for coming in here on your Sunday morning, afternoon, or evening and keeping me company while I deep dive Tommy Lee Wallace on Coffee Chat of Horrors. I really love this project. I love discussing horror, and I am so grateful to have you guys on this journey with me, discussing it and chatting about it. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day as well, SSG Grunt. I will see you guys Monday for Silent Hill F at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and next Sunday for our deep dive on Mick Garris. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your Sunday. Know that you're loved, know that you're worthy, and I will slash yous all later. Thank you, Rise. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a great horror streamer. I appreciate that. Mwah. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.